Alright, today we're going to show you how to put together the Avanti 24 pocket historic Detroit Sidekick. Each kit comes with the panel A. It comes with 12 of the lower pockets, which are a little bit larger than the 12 upper pockets. The hardware pack includes 2 of these gondola brackets, 2 screws, 2 wing nuts, 2 of the sign holders, 2 of these zip ties, and 1 angle with some tape on both legs. So to begin with, look at your gondola and decide from your planogram which side of the gondola this needs to be mounted to. If it goes on the left side, like so, your brackets will be mounted on the left side of your panel. So if you're looking at it this way, if you're on the left side of your gondola, your brackets will be mounted over here on the left side so that your pockets will be facing outward rather than in towards the shelves in the gondola. If conversely, if it's on the right hand side, put it on the right hand side of the brackets with the pockets facing this outward. Alright, so I'll show you how to put the brackets on. Okay, this is your gondola bracket. It's got a little hook here that will hook into the gondola upright. So that'll end up dropping down on the upper one. So we're going to take the upper one and give you a good reference here. We'll put this bracket on the back side, and notice the series of slots here. You have these vertical slots and these horizontal slots, and there's a row of 2 here, and then 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So there's 4 series. And on the upper series, in the middle of the 2 vertical slots here, there's a 3rd slot in the middle, and that's the one we're going to use. So you take your screw, and positioning your gondola bracket in the upright position like that. Put the screw through the slot in the panel, the middle ear slot, and then through the slot in the bracket. You can see the screw is actually through both the middle slot of the panel here and of the slot in the bracket. And just put your wing nut on there and just tighten it enough so it doesn't fall off for now. Okay. Now for the bottom. For the bottom bracket, you can see the top one we positioned it in what I call the upright position. On the bottom one, we're going to turn this thing upside down like that. Okay? We're going to set that down. We're going to position it again in the middle slot. We'll bring the screw in from the front side. We're looking at the back side now. Put the screw through. Put your wing nut on it. And just tighten it enough so that the bracket doesn't fall off for right now. Then we're gonna, once we get it in the gondola, we'll tighten them up. Alright, so you can see the position of the brackets. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and try to fit it in the gondola. What you're gonna wanna look for is put the panel on the deck, because you'll want it close to the deck. And then figure out which slot is the closest in reference to your bracket on your panel. So it looks like this particular slot is probably the closest one. So you want to slide that on there, slide your bracket down, push it down like that, and then tighten this up. What that does is locks down on that upright. Then conversely on the bottom one, so we'll find the closest slot available. It looks like that one. So you'll want to push up on that one and then tighten it down. Okay, now what that does is it locks that in there. If you push up on this one and down on this one, it kind of locks it in place so it doesn't want to pop out. Now once you've got that completed, take your angle with the double-sided tape on either side, peel the backing off of it, okay? Okay, now I've got the backing off of it. Position it so that one sticky side would hit on the back of this panel and the bottom sticky side will hit on the deck. So avoid the slots here. Put it out towards the front. And just stick it down just like that. So it's nice and secure at the bottom. Okay, now we're going to show you how to fold up the pockets. Each of the pockets have 3 bend lines. 2 vertically here and 1 across here. So you just bend that like that. Bend that one like that. So that they're all bending in the same direction. And that's your large pocket. And here's your small pocket. Do the same thing. Okay, once you've got a couple pockets bent, I'll show you how to insert them. Make sure you go to the outside of the gondola. These are the ears of the pocket. This is the tail. There's a series of the slots on the panel. The vertical ones are for the ears. So for the upper, smaller pocket, slide that in about a 45-degree angle and then rotate it down and stick the tail. It's hard to tell, but this tail portion, you got to squeeze these together a little bit and stick it into the vertical slot, making sure that everything sticks in there, and then pull out and make sure that these are firm and snapped in there. And you can look in the back side here and see if everything's catching properly. See, that's all the way through. This is all the way through. Okay, in the same manner as the small pocket, the small upper pocket, you can do the same thing with this large lower pocket. You see the series of vertical slots. The lower ones are for the larger pocket. So stick the ears in the vertical ear slots and push them in there. And take the tail and put it into the horizontal tail slots. Okay? And just make sure it's nice and snug, that they're all the way through. Then these 2 middle vertical slots all the way down, they will share the pockets. So in other words, the next pocket the right hand side will share here, the left hand side here. Then the next pocket, it'll also share this middle slot, and then this one will be by itself. So you don't need separate slots for these, because they're very thin. Both pieces will fit in there with plenty of room to spare. Now what we'll do is we'll show you how to put the clips, the sign clips on. You can see that one portion is larger, one opening is larger than the other. So the larger opening will go on your panel. Like that. Kind of scoot it out towards the edge there. Then your other one in the same manner on the other side. Then slide it down right into there and into there. Now, we've also sent a couple of what we call zip ties. And if you've got a wire grid or a metal shelf or anything here on the gondola, you could use it to kind of help stabilize your panel. You can slide it through this middle slot here on the outside, and then hook it to whatever's here. If there's a wire basket or metal shelf or whatever, hook it to that. Go ahead and zip it closed just like that and tighten it up. Okay. Now you can merchandise your unit. And thanks for your attention.